You can sit here if you take the seat.
Je t'invite pas avec eux? Si, j'habite avec eux. Ah, d'accord.
Okay.
Ouais, c'est mieux. On se connaît pas là. Non, mais. C'est pour lui. Et pour c'est tout bon? Alors, bismillah.
You start.
Okay. So, assalamu alaikum. We have the pleasure to welcome Dr. Hani, founder of Islamic Relief and president of Islamic Relief Switzerland. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. And as you can see, we have so many new staff, and they were waiting for you with impatience. So you are more than welcome.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu ala Rasulullah. It is a great honor and pleasure to be with all of you, especially the people that I have not seen before. The difference between you and me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 30 years or 40 years, no, make it 40 years, because they're all young, or 45 years or 50 years. And so when you see inside your journey, generation that you have never seen before, this is barakah from Allah. When we were there 40 years ago, we never thought that we'll be with somebody like you, a Shaima, or somebody like you, okay, which is still less than 20. And somebody like you, or others. Nobody thought about the journey will reach this stage. Our life is a journey. Journey has been made by my parents, or our parents. He chooses my mother. My mother chooses him. So my journey starts here. That's right? In the womb of my mother. You are my mother?
I don't think.
Mother in spirit. Yeah. This is the first journey. To see how much we are blessed by Allah, who kept us in a very small place, feeding us, looking after us, from the time I was a small cell, and from one cell from my mother, one cell from my father. This is the first life that I have in my journey. And all of us have it. Is that right? Or you came like Adam. Allah created you by his own hands. Huh? Or you came like Eve from the ribs of Adam. Is that right? Which one of them? From her womb, or from Adam, or from Eve?
Par élimination.
So this is the first part of the journey that we are living. Then we come out as young, disabled children. My mother, no, not you. I am the mother. The mother and the father looking after us. Then we started to stand up to think at the age of 10, 15, whatever it is, have character. Then we strive on earth. Then we go down again, another life. So life in the womb of the mother, life on the surface of earth, life at the bottom of earth. Then life in barzakh, then life on the straight path, then life in heaven. So life, inshallah, is a never-ending story. So to see you today, I'm still inside the journey of my life. And I will never, I don't like people to sit behind me. Come on, Shaima. Come on. So it's not right. Not right, not right, not right. Yeah. So it is. Sit next to her. Come. So our journey is a never-ending story. The journey of Islamic life, for the young people who did not see Islamic life, there's 5 or 6 characters started it. It was a famine in Ethiopia, in Eritrea, and I was invited to go to Sudan. I was just recently married, but you have not attended my wedding. He refused. I did not have the ticket, the money to buy the ticket. Okay? So I went to the sheikh. You are my sheikh. In London. You know what he did? He opened the drawer and gave me money, 300 pounds. This is the first character in Islamic life. This individual who gives Sheikh Hamid the money, nobody knows him. Even the Sheikh did not know him or her. Was he a man or a woman, black or white, short or tall? This is the first founder of Islamic life. The second one was the Sudanese. When he showed us the refugees in Sudan and telling us they're Muslims and non-Muslims. At that time, the television was only focusing on the non-Muslims. Terrorist fund from the European and American. When we found that, we said we have a responsibility. With the second founder of Islamic Relief, a Sudanese man, in Khartoum in December 1983. The third one, a young child at the age of 9. You are 10 now. He is 10? At the age of 9, whom I know because he is a relative of mine, gave me the 20 pence. Okay, this is number 3. My family, of course, but I'm not going to count them because they raised about 1,500 pounds at that time. The fourth man is my colleague, who was a Palestinian, Iraqi, who said this, I'll be with you at the very beginning, in January 1984. 1985, we have another 1 or 2. One is called Cat Stephen. Yusuf Islam. He came to Birmingham and they gave us the name of Islamic Relief. Because before that, it was called another name. When we opened the bank account in January, February 1984. Cat Stephen came and gave us the name of Islamic Relief. Don't ever think that me or Ihsan have invented this name. It's Cat Stephen. Number 6 or 7 was the logo? You have the logo here?
Yeah, just here on the paper.
Yeah. You know this logo is designed. Anyone Turkish here? Ertugrul or yours, Halima Sultana? Mother Haima? Was a Turkish designer from London who designed this logo in 1985 after Yusuf Islam gave us the name. And he never charged us for any penny. Sadaqah. So, two people who have not met, we do not know them. One is Turkish, one is nobody knows whether he is a man or a woman. The 300-pound individual. One Egyptian, two Egyptians, which is 20 pence, one Palestinian, one Greek, one Turkish, one Sudanese. So, international dimension from the birth of the seed of the tree of Islamic belief. It was not only Egyptian, it was not only Arab, it was all over. Turkish, Greek, Egyptian, Sudanese, as well as Palestinian. So this is a story. And you cannot imagine that the barakah that Allah has put in the beginning, the first step of the journey, to let me to see you after 40 years. And I'm still alive. And you are going to carry the torch for generations to come. We just finished the first 40 years. It's entirely up to you to carry on the second 40 years, the third 40 years, the fourth 50 years, and so on. Child, it's a never-ending story. But all of you have to take the stick and lead. It's number one. Number two, never ever think that you are a follower all the time. You should be a leader. Once you have the stick in your hand, you should lead. I'm not joking. I'm not blinking. What we see nowadays happening here and there of unjust individual who are hypocrite, talk about democracy, fairness, equality, rights, human rights, animal rights, birds' rights, are wicked hypocrites. Especially what I've been seeing over the last 6 months. What does it mean? It means that the world is waiting for somebody like you to lead. That's right, sister? Right?
Yes.
You have to believe that you believe. Not only that, you have to believe in your belief. I'm a Muslim, but how? Is Islam taking you up, driving your life? Is your religion driving your life? Driving your dreams? Driving your future? Driving your relationship or what? Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, aminu. Oh, you believe, believe. Oh, you who believe, believe. You have to believe in yourself, that you are a leader. Don't be a chicken, that a rat can come and bite your leg and eat you. You are a lioness, that nobody can touch you. When you stand, then you roar, then you look and stare and scare. Everybody will follow you. Yes? Inshallah. This is the beginning of the journey. So we just finished its first 40 years. It's up to you, sisters and minority of brothers. They are minority. Why you are sitting here? The world has been taken by the future leaders. Actually, have to believe that you are leaders. I'm not going to talk too much. Actually, I will wait for questions to be asked by you, by every one of you, in any language you want. Want to speak Urdu, Punjabi, Gujarati, Swahili, French, Turkish, delight, or Turkish baklava, or Turkish لقمة, حلقومة لقمة. لقم wow. Or Turkish kebab.
Kadayif, is it also from Turkey?
Qadaif is Egyptian as well.
Oh my god. Then I can also Arabic.
Yes, please. Anybody? I don't want to talk too much because if you want to speak, I can listen and I can answer.
Just by curiosity, what was the initial name?
The initial name was the Committee of Helping Muslim Refugees in Africa. Very stupid name. You see how many? The Committee Helping Muslim Refugees in Africa. 7. What? That means we have no idea. We had no idea of what we were going to do. That's why this was the name. But Yusuf Islam, may Allah bless him, is still alive. He gave us this name, beautiful name. Then they created Muslim Aid in London. Muslim Aid was in London, in the middle of 85. Islamic Relief was January 84. So here, sisters, we had no idea of what we are going to do. Just we started. You don't have to have resources to start. You don't have to have money to start. You don't have to have many people to start with. Prophet ﷺ started with one man, himself, a woman, his wife, radiallahu anha, a young boy or a young man, his cousin, and a friend, Abu Bakr. 4. These are the first 4 people. And the support came to the Prophet from his woman, his wife, radiallahu anha. When he came shaking after the angel came to him, said, Allah will never let you down. He came to her, said, I thought that I'm going to die. Allah will never let you down. And she mentioned his characteristics for Islam. You are good to your family. You help people. You support people. You are very generous. And she mentioned 7 principles, which you have to put it as principles of social work. I call them the Khadija principles. I can give it to you. Don't ever look at Islam as a religion demeaning woman. The 7 Khadija principles of social work is there for us to follow before Harvard, before Cairo, before London, before Glasgow, for Edinburgh, for Cambridge, for Oxford universities. The 7 Khadija principles for social life and the humanitarian life. Mentioned spontaneously, not read, to Muhammad ﷺ when he was shocked receiving actually the message. She gave him what we call psychosocial support. You know this name. Becomes a part of our package to get money because there's fund for psychosocial support. So put psychosocial support at every project to get money. But Khadija did it to her husband. Khadija was a woman. The teachers in the Umayyad mosque in Damascus was Darda al-Sughra, the little Darda. And the Khalifa was listening to her. So whenever anybody comes and tell you, you are backward because Islam does not give right to women, tell them Islam gives us the freedom and the equality to men, while you were not able to define what woman is about. Is she as an object? Is she as a being or no being? Does she have a right or not? Till recently, in the 18th century or so, when they started to say that women have right. But this is in Islam, 45 years ago, it was there. Take your right, exercise your right, and demand to be a leader at home, because home is the kingdom of woman, and the man is a guest. you, you put him in the front room. He is free to go to the toilet, the front room, and by invitation to the bedroom, but not anywhere. Anyway, this was the first question. Go on, sisters.
I have a question.
Why?
Well, it's not a question, it's more like if you can give us some advice, because, mashallah, subhanAllah, you're in this business in so many years, and I guess you have seen so much, you know? And I think for us, it's really, maybe for most of us, this current crisis is the biggest crisis we have faced and witnessed, and the past year was very difficult, and we are facing so many challenges in all aspects, being it with all the banking issues and the social media issues and the targeted. Like, is there any advice? We all know we have to have faith in Allah and tawakkul and so on. But can you give us any, maybe from your experience, how to overcome this feeling of desperation that we sometimes find ourselves in?
We have been living through many situations like this. At the beginning of the 90s, we were Islamizing people because we were building mosques and pre-printing the Quran in Bosnian language and in Albanian language, because those people lost their identity during the communist time. It was a regaining identity. We were called that in the late 80s, mid 90s. 2001 was another challenge. But we managed to accommodate them in the 90s. Said, okay, fine. We're going to do da'wah differently by empowering the local community, not by building mosques. And we changed our philosophy. Because there's a tide or there's a tsunami. The anti-Islamic tsunami or Islamophobic tsunami was there from the 80s. Then after September the 11th, we decided to face them. Said we are not going to bend our back to this big tsunami of September 11th. We have to face the media. We have to face the media. But how to face the media? What we have done is we trained to face the camera. What to say when you meet BBC or ITV or CNN. Then we managed to do that. Then we made a spokesman, one, globally, to deal with this. And we managed to succeed. This problem nowadays is bigger than September 11th. 100 times. 100 times. Whether you like it or not. You have to see the journey. How did we deal with that? To deal with this one. In a big tsunami like this, you don't become hot-headed, emotionally reactive. You have to divide your team according to the ayah in the Quran. I think Surah Tawbah, say Surah Tawbah 122. Say if that one. No, see it. Surah Tawbah. It is فلولا نفر من كل فرقة طائفة. When the time of war, the time of catastrophe, everybody comes out. Said, no, not all of you. You have to leave somebody behind. To think logically, to look logically, to decide logically, and support you while you are in the front line. فلولا نفر من كل فرقة طائفة. Which number are you? 122. This is what we need to do. At every difficult situation, we should not stand all of us to react. Some will react, some will think, some will look, some will guide, some will read. If we don't do that, what is this?
This one.
Ah, that's it. This is the one. Read it to them in English or French.
Les croyants n'ont pas à quitter tout leur foyer. Pourquoi de chaque clan quelques hommes ne viendraient-ils pas s'instruire dans la religion pour pouvoir à leur retour avertir leur peuple afin qu'ils soient sur leur garde?
That's right. And this, the practical example of this one is, in the battlefield of Uhud, the Muslims were defeated. That's right? Why? Because Prophet ﷺ told them, stand on this mountain. Don't come down. When they found that the war is over, they'd come down. You know who was waiting in the back of the mountain? Who? Somebody called Khalid. This group. When he found them coming down from the mountain, said, no, the war is not over. He went around to go from behind the Muslim army to attack them from behind. So the non-Muslim army, when they found that Khalid came from the back, they did not run away. They came back. So the Muslim will make sandwich. Khalid from the back and the other defeated army from the front, and 70 Sahabi were killed at this battlefield because they did not do what the Prophet ﷺ told them. And because Khalid was this small group, was observing, thinking, seeing, deciding, and strategizing. At the time now, sister, you have to have this group who think for you. Don't ever become reactionary. Not only that, we have a slogan called connection is protection. The more you connect, the more you get protected. When did we start this connection, sisters and brothers? In 1993, we decided to go to the kitchen of the International Decision-Making Humanitarian Kitchen, which is called United Nations. 93. 31 years ago. End of March 1993. It was at the end of Ramadan, at the day of Eid. We went, the three of us, to New York to register Islamic Leaf at UN. 1993. Bosnia was just started. But before Bosnia war, we're opening our doors to other organizations to come and see us. Okay? 1990, 91, 92, and so on. When they told us, here you have to fight, you know what? You have to stand up and fight for your rights. I was there with Khalid, Roy, Saleh, Saeed to register Islamic Leaf. And you have to have an interview in front of all the ambassadors in the big hall. We answered all the questions. We gave all the reports. Even one of the reports came from United Nations, from Sarajevo, about Islamic Leaf is related 300 metric ton of wheat flour to UNHCR. Alhamdulillah, Allah sent this email or fax at the time, no email, to us. Then on Friday morning, I heard that they are going to put us on roster status. I said, what does that mean? You're going to grill me or roast me? He said, no, you have to come in 2 years' time. I'm an angry man. I'm very angry man. You know what I have done? You know the black and white old Egyptian movie? I went to the stage. I took the microphone. The lady chairman told me, sir, can you come down? I said, no, I'm not going to come in front of all the ambassadors. I'm not going to come down. Here I stood for our rights. I have been here for a week. I gave you everything you want. I answered all your questions. What do you want? Sir, I said, I'm not going to come down. I was there, you can imagine, in a room which may be 50 or 100 ambassadors, middle of the United Nations, give me a roster status. What? Me come back after 2 years? Why? If I become a chicken at that time, they could have been smashing me with their feet. You know what happened on that day? The Irish ambassador stood up and they said to defend our right, because we have the right to be there. We answered everything. We gave all the documentation. They said, we have heard Islamic Relief representative. They give us everything. Everything. I endorse the application. I vote for them to be there. So this is a vote from Europe. But next Monday, because this was Friday, our colleague from certain country will give her the chance to read the report and come back, and the Islamic Relief case should be opened at 9 o'clock on Monday morning. And I went to speak to the Sudanese ambassador, whom I was 3 meters tall and he was small. He was nearly 2 meters tall. I told him, you are next to me. I cannot do this to her. I'm giving you her share. I give you her share, sorry. Said, with the name of Allah, if you don't support us, I will ask Hosni Mubarak to stop the Nile coming to Sudan. Because the Nile was coming from Bosnia. And he was laughing. Then he gave a khutbah. You know, khutbah. If you are in the kitchen, you'll be supported. But being in the kitchen is not enough. Being in the kitchen and be connecting all the time. To make friends, to make allies. Nowadays, you have this long journey, but still people want to destroy Islamic Relief. If you stop making friends, if you stop connecting, if you stop sending your reports to others, they will not support you. In the time when I was a president, you can ask Samira. You know Samira Mahliya? She used to have every year 2 mail-shot letters with newspaper, newsletter, and others to all the presidents, the kings, the queen, the ambassadors, and the ministers of the world. Of the world. This is before the internet, before the email. Twice a year, tell them, just send the letter so they know that you exist. Communication and connection and transparency. Nothing to hide. And being open to everybody. You know, from the 80s, late 80s to mid 90s, before we have the golden uprise of Islamic Relief, the volunteers who came to Islamic Relief, maybe from 87, 86, 89, till the middle of 90s, there were about 30, 40 volunteers. 40% of them were young girls. At that time, in the 80s, 88, 89. Then the champions of the mid-90s were 4 or 5 young people. Young, Y-O-U-N-G. Some of them actually were sisters as well. But the leaders were Saleh Said, Harun Atallah, Mustafa Osman, Nasruddin Haj Hamid, Khalid Fadi Atani. Those people took Islamically because they were young. energy, power, drive. So when you look at yourself, don't look at yourself as a chicken or as a gazelle or a buffalo or a whatever it is. Look at yourself as a lioness. Nobody can touch you. I don't want to say elephant because elephant will be big and you can't say to a woman as you're an elephant. Otherwise she will kick me. But I got, anyway. So with this role of young people, because they have the energy, role of the woman, because they have the emotion and the different philosophy to men, and the role of men, elderly men as well. This is protection. And this thing which we've been seeing over the last 5 months is not going to stop tomorrow. It's a very long term. You know why the Muslims were defeated against the Mughal? Because Mughal were very clever. They used to send the first 10,000 soldiers. The Muslim come, Then when Muslim became exhausted, the 200,000 come from the Mughal. This destroyed the whole area. They did not use the ayah which I mentioned in Surah Tawbah. They used the no logic senses, the no logic feeling and thinking. They did not use research, studies, learning from the past. That's why during the Mughal time and Tatar time, we were defeated badly. They went from China border and Russia border until they came to Ain Jalut, which is in Palestine. And you know the Muslim army, when they met them, was led by the Imam. The Imam of Egypt was not Egyptian, was a Palestinian. His name was Al-Izz ibn Abd salam. You know when the Mamluk, which were the leader of the army, Mamluk means slaves, wanted to raise fund from the Egyptian to support the army, you know what he told them? You people, as Mamluk, have to set yourself free first. Because you are slaves. You have to become free by yourself. And send your price to the treasury. Then empty your palaces of jewels and gold and silver and put it in the treasury. Then we'll follow you. Then the Mamluk were from Circassia, Cherkas near Chechnya and what the other one? Chechnya and Ossetia and all this area. Very, very strong fighters. You know, don't fight the Turk. Prophet ﷺ gave us hadith. Whenever you go to the Turk, don't fight them, make them Muslims. Otherwise, if you fight them, you go nowhere. Because they come their origin is go from China border to all these Turkish tribes. All of them. Very, very strong fighters. I told them, you fight on Friday. And you fight after Jum'ah. So I will let all the imams in the whole country to make dua for you. So when the Mughal came like a wave, they were defeated. Because they were thinking, the army was thinking, looking forward, listening, guided, supported by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you have to do your homework first. Any other questions? Yes, Bosnia. The way you said like this, that means that you are ready to say something.
Yes. No, I was just thinking about.
Sorry. Men are not asking?
I asked you yesterday.
That's me yesterday. How about today? Okay.
No, I was just thinking about my community or our community here in Switzerland, and I think the people are going to be more selfish, and I don't know. I think they change a lot, and as Miriam told, there are hard times, and I don't know how can we make them sensible to support more or to give more, to open them, because I know in Bosnia we got a lot of people which we support in our own country, so young students who go to madrasa, or I don't know, in our small villages they are building a mosque, they are build a new road and stuff like that, you know, in small villages. But I'm just thinking about how we can, yeah, on which way they can give more or support more the people who need it maybe more than people in Bosnia, because the people in Bosnia live well, and the people who are actually in Switzerland or in Germany, they send money to the people, but they say, oh, but they are not living so bad. So, and I think they are then stopped to donate, and
Yeah.
or maybe and there are so many other places. I think they did it more than
Yeah.
the old.
I think the most important point in what you're saying is you. How close you are to the community. How sincere you are when you talk to them. Are you talking to them to get the money, or you are talking to them to educate them about the problem? Like at the time of Bosnia, all of us were in tears, crying. We have never seen people taking young girls at the age of 4 and raping her. It's been reported in The Guardian, end of March 1995. I'm not going to mention the name. She was one of the good girls supported by Islamic. 4 years old. 4 years old from Zvornik. You see? Been there. You know. Srebrenica, Zvornik, Jipa, and
Yeah,
Rasenats.
yeah, this is mine.
All. Yeah. Okay? So with this, we were living the issue of the agony of the Bosnian people. If you don't live the issue and have the issue in your heart, they will not trust you. Because you can give the best speech in the mosque and you get with no money. And some very simple man goes to the same mosque and give very simple speech and everybody put the money there. Because the power of his speech is not because of what he said by tongue. It's because what his heart has or her heart has. But she is a woman or a man. Because this kind of power comes from the mind, from the heart, to the mind, to the soul, to the other people. I've seen it. Because Bosnia, for us in the middle of Europe, was a scar, a very ugly scar, extremely ugly scar in the face of humanity. And unfortunately, we did not learn from what happened in Bosnia. Now it's happening somewhere else. With another community, small communities in India, small communities in Burma or Myanmar, small communities in China, Gaza, and that's happening. We don't learn, we don't read, we don't try it, we don't research, we don't make studies. That's why same thing keep happening and happening and happening again. It's up to you to let people to love you. You could be the richest one, and people come to your house and you put big table of food and drink. People go for the food, and she could be very poor woman, but her heart on the table. So people love her food, and this is what I found in my family. Some of members of my family were very rich. Do you know koshari? Koshari.
Plat égyptien.
Kitchery, yeah.
Yeah.
The kitchen in Pakistan. Koshari وانت kosher is pasta, rice, lentil.
C'est un peu la soupe marocaine, mais version égyptienne.
عارفه كشري انت؟ اشرحي لهم بقى in French.
Oui, voilà, c'est une soupe où il y a du riz, il y a des pâtes, il y a un peu de vermicelle, il y a de la tomate, il y a des pois chiches.
Le couscous
Plein de...
égyptien.
En fait, c'est comme la soupe marocaine en version
I'm sorry.
No.
en égyptien.
Oh,
C'est un plat traditionnel égyptien.
this is the food of Dunya. And where you came from? From the Dunya. Who are your mother?
Les Égyptiens disent qu'ils sont l'une la mère
Mère de
de...
It's supposed to be for the, يعني, not for the very rich people. One of our relatives used to put meat on top of it. What? Meat? Meat is very expensive. The other one just made it simple and used to like the one with very simple food, kushari. Or sometimes was our auntie who used to give us صباع كفتة. The kofta is big as this. No taste. But it's meat. The other one give us no meat. You love what she does for you. So you are the rich and she is the poor. But her food is is much liked by every one of us. So when you look at this, it is you to make, even when you're married, you make your house heaven or hell. It's entirely up to you. It's not the man. The man is just a runner and the visitor. Okay? And the man is very naive. Naive, huh? Anything nice to be said to him will make him happy. You can make your house kingdom if you want. Okay? Or you can make it something else. So it's entirely up to you, sister. But when we did what we did, all of us, Muslim Shiites in Bosnia, we stopped the ethnic cleansing. Because hundreds of Arab and Muslim organizations were there. All of us did not know what to do, but we were doing something. And we managed to save lives, protect people, stopping systematic rape. In the camp, sisters used to give tablets to the soldiers to manage, let them to manage to attack, kill 5-6 times a day. They can imagine this humiliating feeling for somebody there to be attacked 5-6 times a day. We lived this. But because we lived the agony of their feeling, we managed to stand up till now. More than 30 years ago. That's why Allah said, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, aminu. Oh, you believe? Believe. Keep renewing your iman. Keep renewing your intention. Without renewing the intention, you go for the money. Value never measured by money. There's something I wrote this morning. Value is a fertile, fruitful tree. But money is a failing, dry leaves. Stays on the tree for a month or so, then it falls down. But the tree does not die. The tree is the value. The leaves is the money. Because the leaves, the money could be given to you or to me. Value stays behind after you leave this life. Money does not stay. Somebody else will take it. Your house will be taken by others. Your flat will be taken by others. Your wealth will be taken by others. Even they might not be your children. The land will be taken by others. But the value will stay forever to be believed by everyone else. It stays as it is. So value is in you. When you have the value, you are having a value for yourself and for your life. If you have no value, there's no value for your life. And value is a part or the byproduct of belief itself. Thank you, Bosnia. Yes, sisters and brothers. Who else? You can speak in French, you can speak in Turkish, you can speak in Arabic, have no problem.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
We talked about this like last time. It was about ego and logo.
Yes.
And I found this really interesting, so if you can elaborate on this.
Ego is self-satisfaction or personal satisfaction or individual satisfaction or desire. Not say the satisfaction, say desire. Individual desire. I want. This is ego. This ego does not let you go anywhere. It's just, and then everybody will look at you. Who's this? Fight. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. With the remembrance of Allah, you cut down the ego. You remove the ego, and actually you have no ego. Ego, what do you mean by ego? If a poor man invites me as a member of the parliament, I will not go to him because there's no benefit for me to go and meet a poor man or a poor woman. Ego is a part of arrogance or reflection of arrogance. Ego is ignorance. Arrogance and ignorance sleep in one bed. They love one another. Humility and caring are against ego and are against arrogance and ignorance. Arrogance and ignorance lead to ego and to lead to hypocrisy as well. Okay? So be careful of this ego. ونفس وما سواها ألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها. Look at the soul in your heart, but you have to work on it. Work on your soul. You have to keep shaping the soul because the soul can go very wide. Who is going to be victorious? The one who is shaping and trimming the soul. When you go to the garden, you trim your trees. Otherwise it becomes wild. Is that right? I will come bushes. Is that right? I can't walk. Because you have to keep trimming the trees. Is that right? Why you trim the trees? Yes, you have to trim the soul as well. You have to trim the soul. This is the ego. And this is a personal relationship between you and yourself. What you do when you are alone in your bedroom. Do you pray? Do you recite Quran? Do you think positively about people? Or you switch on? Once upon a time, I went to Germany. It was a meeting. I was still on the board of Germany. I went to the room and they switched on the television. And it was one of this channel. Boom. You know Boom? What channel? Boom. Boom. You know what I'm talking about? Channel which shows you boom. You understood? I was shocked. And I'm alone. I was alone. I don't know, my God, I'm going to stay in this hotel for 2 days. What shall I do? Because in the good old days, you used to actually warn you about the different channels. This is a red channel, this is a white channel, this is a blue channel. But this was open. I went down to the reception and what's his name? Tariq Afifi came. Said, what are you doing here? I said, I can't sit in my room. He said, why? I said, because there's boom in my room. And when you have the boom in your room, who is next to you? The devil. And he's very clever. And he will never leave you alone. Because this is the food for you. Wallahi, on this night, I was trying to pray to ask Allah to protect me from just switching on the television again. So I took the what do you call the remote? I put it under the mattress. I am trying to hide it, but I couldn't be able to sleep. Then I was resisting for an hour or two, till Allah made me to sleep. This is when you start to fight with your soul. I was in prison in Canada. Okay, and when they put me in jail wrongly, you know what I told Allah? One thing, because I was traveling with a group of people like you. This was, I think, Wednesday, and they're flying next Tuesday or Wednesday from Birmingham to Libya, Chad, Niger, and Mali. And the man decided to put me in jail, stripped me naked, and examined me naked, without describing. No, I got it. You know, when I went to my room, my prison cell, what did I tell Allah? I was making dua. What? Go on.
I don't know. Facilitate me.
You have to. When I answer, I don't want a no for an answer.
Okay.
What did I ask Allah to do for me?
To make things right.
Huh?
To make things right for
To
you.
make things right. Okay.
As for justice.
Huh?
Justice?
Justice.
What is it the same?
What?
Justice.
Justice. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else?
To protect you from the devil.
To get
To protect you from the devil.
from the devil. Okay. Anybody? What did they ask Allah?
Patience.
Patient. I only ask Allah to make me asleep. Because I knew that next day they'll be questioning me. So I need to sleep with Allah, please. And He make me sleeping like a fish, a sardine. And next day I was released. Alhamdulillah. In this difficult time, you need to find something that Allah loves to listen to you when you say it to Him. And this when the ego comes. Logo, never say that we are the best. We are amongst the best. We are the first. We are amongst the first. You know who is the first? To help is not you. It's not UN. It's not even the government. It is next door neighbor. If I have a problem at my house, who is the first responder? Is my next door neighbor. Is my church next to me. Is my mosque next to me. Not you. By the time you come to my country, it takes weeks. I'm the first. Get lost. You're not the first. These old jokes is not there anymore. You are never the first. You were never the first. So the ego and the logo could be self-destroying, self-destructive to you and your organization. Never worship yourself as ego and never worship the logo. I have to have my logo. Like, we have 6 or 7 organizations doing one project. No, my logo should be in the front. We had this program for Lebanon, and we want to make coalition of 6 or 7 organizations to send food packs. You know what we did? Some organization give 100,000, some give 50, something 10,000, 5,000. We make the box. We bought all the logos on the boxes, the same. No big logo, no small logo. The difference was in the amount of boxes that we are going to give to everyone. Your 100,000 will give you what the 100,000 will be 10,000 boxes. 5,000 give you 50 boxes or 100 boxes. But the logo are the same, including our logo. Quite often, we don't use to put our logo at the top, but at the bottom, like anybody else. Like we have a meeting. Where's the other telephone? Give me the other telephone. We have a meeting happening on the first of what do you call it? No, this one. On the 1st of March, about the launch of our book, first book, called Dimension of International Humanitarian Work. Come on out, please. Oh, no, not you. Not you. What is this supposed to be? Facebook? Facebook? Book. Look at here to these images. Our policy is we are the organizers, we are the people who did everything, but we images should not be at the top, should be at the bottom. Show it to them. Yes. Me and my colleague from the organization should be at the bottom, not at the top. Learn to put yourself to lower it down. Not because you are the organizers. Quite often they give you 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you find somebody high qualified than yourself. Don't use the 15 minutes. Say, welcome, everybody. Here my 10 minutes is for you. We were having a talk about the values last year in Turkey. And in my talk, you know what I have done? I did prepare a paper. In my 25 minutes, I invited 2 men and young woman. Even the organizer said, never happened. I said, what? Do I have to speak? Do we have to speak? When they give you 25 minutes and you have young, talented people, like Sister Shema and others, and brother, you know what Sibtain mean? It is Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein. Sibta Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Is that right? No, he is Al-Hasan. Give me your other shoulder. And this is Al-Hussein. Sibt in Arabic. So, Ala, Jumana, and 2 other people spoke. Why should you speak for 25 minutes when you can deliver your message for 5 minutes and put Jumana on the stage, put Shema on the stage, put Ala on the stage, put Khalid on the stage? This is where you can bring your logo and the ego down. If you don't do it, nobody else will do it for you. And sometime after 10 minutes, people will switch off. But if you do the 5 minutes, then Shema do 5 minutes, then Maryam will do 7 minutes, Maria do 5 minutes, Nawal do 5 minutes. That's right. The 2 N. Huh? You are Nawal. Huh? I am Nisma. This is it's you. You can do that. Thank you for the ego and logo. Okay. And the best practical example of ego and logo is who spread the message of Islam globally. Very, very simple men believe in the message and want to spread it. No big sheikhs, no money, no stages, no institution, no. Just went simply. Yes, any more questions, sister? You want to ask another question? When you raise your hand, because I know that Bosnian Muslim women as fighters. Yes, sir.
As you know, many of Islamic relief officers, as you move a lot, mashallah, do you think things and the mind of people changed since COVID happened?
Yes, unfortunately, not only Islamic relief. You see, my my intake for this: use the technology. Don't let the technology to use you. I use the technology. I believe in technology. In the 90s, when I was in Islamic Relief, the first computer we received was 1980 something, 88, 89. Big dinosaur. 286. I put it on the table, in the desk. We had one small room. We had our first line telephone is 1986. We did not have a telephone before 86. We don't have a fax machine. We don't have a telex machine. We used to go outside to Muslim businessmen from Pakistan again, actually, to send the faxes. But fax came later. Send the telexes. Kurbani. For Kurbani from Omnia or Amani, what's it? Omnia. Omnia is Kurbani. We have to say that the full name of Omnia, the number of Kurbani, to where. So send it. We didn't have all these facilities. No, we just. When internet came, make life easy. When social media came, make it easier. Use it, not let it to abuse you. Because you say, okay, why should I go to work? I can work from home. You work from home, okay, fine. I will be a clown. I'll be a puppet. Yes, I can work from occasionally. But if I want to be a leader, I don't work from home. You know why? We have, I think, Islamic Relief reached 10 million last year.
Yes.
How much? 10 plus? 10 million and how much?
10 million and 35.
I said the 30,000 pounds, I give it to you.
Yeah.
To me.
Yes.
To me.
Of course.
I have not received it.
We have bank issues, as you know, so
Or I can take it cash. Anyway, this money is given to the poor people. We take our salary from this money, isn't it?
Yes.
صح? Why I live a better life than the life of people of Bosnia or Albania or Macedonia or Kosovo or in Eritrea or in Somalia, or why? Maybe because I'm living in a different country, no problem. While they are 24/7 in the street, while our field workers, wallahi, when I visit Kenya, I think 2019 or something, the young girl, she was a Christian. I can't remember her name, but anyway. She just told me, I was fasting with the brothers and sisters during Ramadan. This is during COVID, by the way. Might be 2021, something like this, 21. And I used to work for about 14 hours, 16 hours a day. What is the difference between her and us here? Oh, no, we can do work from home. She's a leader, but I'm not a leader. Yes, if you have an excuse, you can work 1 day from home, 2 days from home. But if you would like to become a leader, you have to come and... Who's going to teach you? How can you learn from Soraya's experience, from Maria's experience, from Nawal, from Nisma, from others? No, you will never learn. So, yes, we can use the technology. It saved money, it saved time. But at the same time, if we want to create leaders, we have to learn how to create leaders. Because my bargain today should be not only on the employees, but on the intern. So I have one here, I have one here, are you intern?
yes.
One here and one here. No other intern? When I was working as a, you are intern?
No.
When I was a medical doctor, I used to be a medical doctor with white coat and with stethoscope, and I used to be very handsome, but alhamdulillah, not anymore. So I was very much, you know,
I like it really.
you like what? You like the white coat or the The professor, when he used to come to the ward round in the department, he used to get the young students. This is what I learned from him. And in the ward round, there's the sisters, the nurses, the junior doctors, the senior doctors, and he used to tell them, Shayma, Omniya, what's your name? Sarah, the wife of Abraham. alayhi salam. You know that Sarah was the most beautiful woman on earth. She is. That's why the Egyptian king wanted to. Egyptian king, very, very filthy. And that's why Prophet Ibrahim said she is my sister, not my wife. But alhamdulillah, when he was trying to touch her, Allah, what do you call it? Paralyzed his arm. Said, you have jinni, get out, you and your brother. So it was about you. Is it right? No. But you were very jealous. You were jealous of Hajar, the Egyptian. She was more beautiful than you. Anyway, and what I was talking about? Huh? And interns. The professor used to come and say to everybody, in front of the patient, in front of the doctors, in front of the nurses, in front of the sisters, this one is your responsibility, which is the student. You have to teach him or her everything. That's why if we don't invest in you, what's your name?
Yasmin.
Huh?
Yasmin.
Sister Flower. Very, very fragrance. Sister Yasmin. So if I don't invest in Yasmin, I have no future for my organization. And the others as well. So here is how can I invest in Yasmin? And I'm looking at her. Yasmin, yes. How are you? Yes. There's no leadership. There's no transfer of technology, transfer of values. Yes, I'm not against working from home 100%. But the minimum time you come to office, and at my time, it was 7 days a week. Good for you that you have not been working at my time. 7 days a week. Even during Ramadan, we used to open the office after Taraweeh to receive donation. And who was there? Harun. No Harun?
Yeah.
Director was there till midnight. And even during the weekend, we have one of the directors on call during the weekend every 4, 5, 6 weeks end. Every 6 weekends, you have to be here in the office to receive phone calls. Good for you that you have not seen this time. During Ramadan, we used to have something called caravan tour. Have a car to tour the whole of England, the whole of Germany, the whole of France. None of us has iftari or sihri with his family for the whole month. And this is where you create leaders. This is where you create trust. Because when you are with the community, they see you talking to them, they trust you. And they're still remembering the good old days when we used to go there, sleep in the mosque, eat in the mosque, give bayan in the mosque, and all these sort of things. This is where we should use the technology, but never stop creating leaders. Otherwise, we'll be taken over by anyone who has no values. And the value in your value is being with the people that they need you at the time when they want you to be with them. You got it? So I believe in technology. That's why, I'm not sure if you remember somebody called Ahmad Musa, was the head of communication. When he came from Glasgow to Birmingham, he was working in the university. And I did not know what technology is about. So Ahmad, I believe in computer. That's it. Up till now, I don't know how to use computer. Just I use the computer as a typing machine. This is the most. But not like you. She's laughing at me, huh?
No, I'm the same also.
No, it should not be the same, by the way. Allah. And where's my stick? Give me my stick. You should not be like me, because I'm from the generation, not boomer. What as before boomer? What do you call it? You are generation X or Z?
He said I said.
Exact.
I'm millennial. What's
I
millennial?
wouldn't say you are before baby boomer.
Oh. What am?
70s.
Huh?
The glorious 70s.
No, I'm from the 50s. What's not millennial? What do you call me? What boomers?
Baby boomers.
Me?
I think there was
60s, 70s are baby boomers. I think you are a generation before.
Okay. So are you X or Z or E?
I think I'm the same Alexa than said.
So what is he?
C'est entre 85 et
Okay. So you should know the technology and use it, but not to be abused by it.
Thank you.
I'm what boomer? Boom. Boom. So any other question before I conclude with something else? Any other question?
Can I just shortly ask about the book that you mentioned?
Oh, thank you. We had a conference organized 3 years ago. 2 years ago, 2022. I think in July or August in Istanbul. How it was organized, don't tell me. The number of people accepted to come were incredible characters, like Sheikh Hassan al-Bashir, Dr. Saif al-Fattah, Ambassador Ata al-Mannan, Waddah Khamfar, who was the head of Al Jazeera, Asad Taha, who was very famous TV presenter, Heba Raouf, very, very well known, this group. All of them came for free to make the main speeches. Then you have young people like yourself, 16 of them, to do different workshops. And you call the conference the dimension of internet in Arabic أبعاد العمل الإنساني الدولي, the global dimension of international humanitarian work. This was a dream at the back of somebody, mind of somebody. The global dimension of international humanitarian work. What does it mean? It means that when we do our work, we don't talk about philosophy, don't talk about culture, don't talk about values, we don't talk about history, don't talk about media, don't talk about research. Because we are very, very, very busy operational, fundraising and done. So the first 6 talks, the big ones, were talking about this. All the workshops were actually about operation. So we managed to bring both of them on the same table. 3 days. This is the first book to bring both together. Unfortunately, it's in Arabic. It has been made online, 334 pages, and we are launching it officially next the 1st of March. Next Thursday. This was a dream. Okay? And in the Arab library of humanitarian work, it's nothing like this before.
Is it not going to be translated?
If you pay me the money for translation, I'll do that. It is. We need to do it. Our second book will be after Libya crisis. تفضل يا خميس. Will be after Libya crisis. Libya crisis taught us how to make regulation to face this situation. The 6 or 7 consultants who came to talk during the training in 7 days did not charge us any money. We raised fund from Islamic Relief, Libya department. We saved about good amount of this fund, and we are going to change this outcome into guidelines of how to deal with crises like Libya. So we are now at the time when we need to produce books and literature, because Muslim charities and Arab charities are very hard-working organizations, but very poor in writing, and documenting, and researching. That's why our role is to do this. I was called yesterday, 2 days ago, before I came. I came yesterday, so maybe yesterday was what? Monday? Maybe Saturday or Sunday. By an institute in Doha, organizing a meeting led by the League of Arab States about civil society organizations. When they called me, I said, I'm traveling, I'm not going to be with you. I said, "But please come with us even on Zoom." Okay, which is tomorrow. When they give me the title, you know what I told them? You know what I told them? You know what I told them? What I told them? You know what I told them? You know what I told them? You know what I told them? I don't like no for answer. I told them, we already discussed this subject 12 years ago. 12 years ago. In 2012, we submitted a paper to the same organization, and they're very happy. Then they filed it, archived it, and nothing happened. You want me to come back again? Say, please. They just want to post some names. I accepted, and I asked Fatima to send them the document which has been written 12 years ago. By whom? By organizations. I've got 2 or 3 people. You know how many people working for us? I work with them. Fatima, part-time. Manzoor, part-time. Hamadi from Morocco. Morocco, any Morocco? No, no Morocco. أنت Morocco ولا؟ Why?
I don't know. That's live.
So I've got 2 Moroccan, huh? حمادي هو الأخضر حمادي اسمه الأخضر حمادي. And myself as a full-time but not as an employee. And we managed to produce all this. My discussion yesterday was between myself and Fatma, because we found 3 documents to talk about the same subject. Said, why don't we make it as a small booklet of guidelines of how to start after revolution, of how to build initiatives, of how to empower young people, how to build the relationship between organization and state. This is written 12 years ago. But if we have the resources, we could have published it. Unfortunately, we don't have the resources. Thank you for asking me this question. Any other questions?
Last question, if I may.
Yeah.
How do you manage, since 40 years right now, to renew your intention?
To renew what?
To renew your intention.
Renew what?
To renew your
Intention.
nia.
Yeah.
Niyyah. You keep renewing it.
Yeah, of course.
It's very simple.
But
the
you
best-
want a physical process to do it.
Yeah. And the best thing to empower you, instead of renewing the intention, is to empower you. The best thing to empower you is to keep yourself with the people whom you claim to serve them. Like if for instance, if you are helping the homeless in Geneva, or the elderly in Geneva, or in Zurich, you don't help them by just giving them money. You help them by being with them. I listened to somebody who established one of the largest cancer hospital in Cairo. 57,357. Very famous in Egypt. She was Christian. Her name was Ola Gabbour, from a very wealthy family. She loved the humanitarian work. And her husband was also from a very rich family, Christian family. And one day she told her husband, I want a coach, a bus. Okay, I get you the bus. It's like this. To get those young children to go to countryside. On Sunday, which was the only day of her being with her husband, I listened to this interview. You know what happened? She was getting up early, leaving her husband at home. The only day she should be with the husband. She said, where are you going? This is the only day with you. I said, no. I'm going with the people, the children. I said, but you give them the bus. I said, it's not enough. I want to be with them. See, you know the word with them. It is what you ask. I want to be with them. If you are with them, they will teach you. They will empower you. They will support you. They will motivate you. Because you see how much suffering they are having. And see how much we are living in a luxury, but still complaining. The more I used to go to the field, the more I used to learn more and more and more and more. Now, because I'm not executive of Islamic Relief anymore, sometimes occasionally I travel on their behalf. But what's compensating me now is when they ask me, other organization, to talk to the young people. Like 2 days ago, Saturday, I received a phone call from Turkey, from Syria, Idlib. Saturday, Friday evening. Can you be with us tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Turkish time, which means 8 o'clock UK time? I said, brother, it's 8 o'clock in UK. Okay, we can make it 9 o'clock. I was with them I was starting at 8. Because my wife told me, I'm going to leave my bedroom, you sit here, I'm going downstairs to do the breakfast, you talk to your people. يعني خلاص. And for an hour and a half, bad communication, bad network, bad the Wi-Fi or internet, bad. And because it's free, you have to stop the talk, then to carry again with the same what do you call it, link. Very difficult. But you know what, when I asked the brother later on, what's our feedback? He told me, you know what? We've been in the room till about 6 o'clock, discussing the outcome and being motivated. Not because I am there, but because they felt that somebody like any one of you, in their free time, they're giving them in a very difficult time. The time suits them, because 11 o'clock, but does not suit you, because 8 o'clock. Here is the message which you get it from them without, it's not you, it's the barakah. The barakah when they see, oh my God, what's your name?
Alma.
Alma, sister, the scholar, huh? Alma. But Alma in Egypt have got some different meaning, which is, I'm not going to say it. Because Alima is Alima. But in Egypt, in the colloquial language, is different. I'll tell you later on. Okay, but it's yes, scholar, your sister scholar. They found sister scholar waking up at 7 o'clock and waiting for. This is the bond between them, 15 young people, and Sister Alima or Sister Suraya, or other of you. Oh, and here Allah fixes. You know, fixes what? Fixes the intention, fixes the communication, fixes the receptibility, how you receive the message. Sometimes you get a great scholar, but you don't receive the message because he's just saying something. But sometimes you get somebody else, very simple man, whom he talks to you, talk from the heart, talk from the agony that he saw, and you cry. Why you cry? Because I don't know. I found that the power of the speech. Man, even his voice is very weak. Some of those people, very weak voice. But when they stand up and speak, you cry. And this is what happened. Actually, with those people, that's why they would. He was telling me, not because of me, it's because of them. At 6 o'clock, we've been discussing things. This is inside Idlib. If you know the name Idlib, which is near the northwest of Syria, which is protected by the Turkish government. Here, if you are with them, like Ola, the Christian woman, okay, or like other people, if you are with them, people will be with you. That's for your question. I think, any other question, or you raise your finger? No?
No, it's just.
Okay, yes, no? Okay, no, okay. Last is, I'm just going to conclude now. Don't ever think that you are a global citizen. You remember yesterday? Or this yesterday, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, let me stand up and draw this one for you. Do the. Give it to them. Give it to them. You know, here, are you recording something here? Sit down. Sit down. Sisters, this is the globe. Okay? This is the universe. The diameter of the globe is 12,700 square kilometers. From here to here. The globe has all the countries: Macedonia, Albania, Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt, USA, and others. Okay? And some oceans, and some seas. Seas and bees. You know the difference between seas and bees? These people don't rise to the Egyptians, so. Okay? So this is the globe. The universe diameter is 10 billion light years. Where's your son? Ask him, because I want him to become a universal citizen. 10 billion. Are you a part of this or a part of this? You take the globe as a base for you to discover the universe. The globe is not enough for you. Allah, when He created the universe, took him, including the earth, nearly 14 billion years. You know the Big Bang? Boom. I'm a boomer, huh? Apparently. Is it good or bad? I'm a boomer. And you are?
Gen Z.
Gen Z? What? You mean Gen Z is Z and Z? I don't know what is this. Anyway. So when the Big Bang happened, 14 billion years ago, Allah has to recreate everything for us again. And all these are mentioned in the Quran. Sama wal ard, the earth and sky were ratqan, one piece, then boom, boom, boom. ففتقناهما. And we split them apart in a split of a second, which I cannot write it. I cannot read it. I can write it, but I cannot read it. Then it took him all this time. What I'm saying, Quran is asking us to discover not only the earth, the universe. Even we cannot discover what's underneath our feet. Up till now. You go to Tunisia, you're Tunisian, go. Make you poor, but if you look at underneath the land, it's a lot of treasure. Whether they know it and they deprive you, or you don't know it and they don't know it as well. So really, Allah, when He creates this piece of land called Egypt or Saudi Arabia or others, He knows, He knew and knows that not today, on this land, after 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 years, 10 million people will be there. So the rizq of the 10 million people will be underneath their feet. But they have to discover it. And this is what we ignore reading it in the Quran or understanding it in the Quran. Unfortunately. Everything is there. When you find a war in certain country or some country of the big country is trying to steal the border of another country, you know that something is there. That the poor, uneducated country or nation does not know what they have. There's something called blue economy now. You know blue economy? This is the sea. Here, around the sea, there's blue economy. The economy of the sea. More rewardable than the oil, than the gas. And find that this country is the big one coming and want to take this piece of land here. In Gaza, underneath the land or around the seaside is a lot of wealth. You don't know it, the other people know it. The price of war in any country is far more cheaper than the price of digging down and discovering all this. And there's no piece of land. There's no piece of land on earth does not have wealth. No, ever. You talk about Tunisia as a poor country, you are wrong. You talk about Algeria as a poor country, you are wrong. You talk about Morocco as a poor country, you are wrong. Uneducated, ignorant people, Egypt is a poor country, you are wrong. How Egypt could become a poor country? And Yusuf alayhi salam said, اجعلني على خزائن الأرض. Make me to be in charge of the treasure of the land. خزائن الأرض. Is the treasure of the land is only of Egypt or something else? This came in the Quran 1445 years ago. So no piece of land on earth does not have wealth. You have to dig down. But digging down, come back to the first word of Quran. Iqra. Iqra does not mean read and write, because Muhammad says, oh my God, Muhammad could not be able to read and write. Oh, and you feel pity, upset, because our Prophet did not read and write. What? Are you reducing the word Iqra to read and write? Iqra, who's this one? Thank you. Iqra means seek knowledge. Beyond reading. You read to seek knowledge. You write to seek knowledge. You research to seek knowledge. You study to seek knowledge. Keep seeking knowledge. Keep seeking knowledge. Don't stop. There's no end of learning. No end of education. No end of knowing. And the more you know, the more you discover. The more you know, the more you discover. The more you know. وفي أنفسكم. Look at yourself. Can't you see yourself? And this is my message to you. Okay? Are you universal or you are global? Anyway, جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. There's no more question, huh? Stop it, sister.